Hello and good afternoon to all. I'm Crypto Dynamic Duo, broadcasting live from Auckland. My name is Keith Peel and I'm addressing the Billion Coin community. And this is my live broadcast number 264. So, just come out of the weekend. It's a Monday afternoon. I guess everybody knows what's happening on in TBC with it's really about just the admin fee and everything has just grown around it. All sorts of crap has come up accusing admin and all of this, and some say they can't afford it. Well, according to the survey going back about 3 weeks ago, it was only 200,000 members that have one or more coins, TBC coins, whole coins. Now, out of those 200,000 members, out of those 200,000 members, there's only 3,500 members that have registered with their one coin. A lot of people looks like are refusing or don't want to have anything to do with paying that admin fee. I know it's tough, but does that mean that the 3,500 of us are going to carry 196,500 people that also have one or more coin? Don't forget, this outfit needs funds to get. We won't grow unless we've got funds. And this is one way of admin putting the clamp down. Because at the same time, there is a lot of discounting, and the discountings are getting worse and worse because it's getting closer and closer to migration. I don't know how they're going to identify it, but it seems to be a small group from Randy Wilson and them, old players, Whitefish Lady, Dan Lutz. They all seem to be getting around the table and forming some sort of private privy council party. But I think admin is giving them, or everyone, till the end of the month, because that's how long everybody has to decide how we're going to work this. It's only a small problem. It's only a small problem. And the problem is, it's $25 a month. American, fair enough. Kiwis, the Kiwis are clever. The Kiwis look for an avenue to help pay for them. Why can't everybody else look for an avenue? Some of these leaders, and I won't mention any names because a lot of people would know this person. Admin wants $25 per month. Well, my wife and I used to go to and a few friends used to go to what was called a cash flow coaching school. Now, that cash flow coaching school was $10 a week. That's $40 a month. We didn't complain. People around the world never said anything about it, $40 a month. When now today we're complaining about $25 a month for admin fee. But this $40 a month or $10 a week, that was only 4 days a week, those shows. In a month, there was only 16 days. People were doing that sort of thing back then, and that's not too far back. Now, the same people are gunning admin down because of their $25 a month is too high. So we're gonna share the screen. We're gonna have a look what's up on that blog. And welcome to Alan Gray. And hey, kia ora, Bill.
Kia ora, mate.
We're going to have a look what the admin's got on the blog. Right, where are we? Okay, public I don't know if anybody's been through to read this, but we'll have a look at this open policy. Admin is open to adjusting the new policy, so we'll go and have a read at what he's got to say for the people. And he's got, first of all, I, as the overseer of the Kringle Society, don't recognise an outspoken group of TBC members as Kringle Society Privy Council, and should refrain from even suggesting such. Now, that guy they're talking about is people like Dan Lutz, who you really see. Randy Wilson, they were high-profile leaders. Whitefish Lady, she was the same. Now, they've all gathered into a bunch, and they're going to have a tackle at this. This is the problem here, what we're going to read. And he carries on to say, as I have said before, I'm open to debates and hope they can be done with love and respect. I have spent a great number of hours today listening to many points of view, mostly those upset with the new policy. I have listened carefully to each of these members, and I'm glad we can discuss this and deal with the issues connected to the new policy. So, we currently have 30 days remaining before the new policy takes effect. And with that time, we can discuss this among ourselves and sort out the options, and they certainly can result in making an adjustment to the new policy, which may or may not affect things like the effective date, the wording of the policy, or anything else relevant to the new policy. So far, I find it interesting that none of these members that are upset have made any references to the blog where I explained the new policy. So that highlighted piece there is obviously where he explains the new policy, but obviously a lot of us, or a lot of people out there, didn't go in and have a look at it, did they? They started going up at the mouth, and now we're down to this. Okay, the situation is more complex than most would think. It is, and the debate should be done with an open mind, and the outspoken should be open to changing their minds too. Members should recognise and understand admin's point of view and be open to discuss the issues that brought the new policy to the front, the awareness of the TBC community. I will continue to bring out many of these complexities connected to a web of issues that intersect with the new policy. The process of bringing all of these to light will certainly be enlightening to all that get involved in the debate. Be of good cheer, because all is well that ends well. Okay, that's just part of it. We'll go back and carry on, see what else he's got in there. Okay, we'll open this one up. Okay, at the same time, he's trying to set up this merchant promo. He's got good news pathway for regular members to assess benefits of the merchant promo. And he's got poster, article, and image. Yeah, so he's trying to do all of that. We know that he does all of this, all of the blog himself. So he got a lot on his plate. That all of our existing merchants can upload their business license now to their merchant listing all 958 of them. Once they upload those documents, I, the admin of TBC, will be notified and I will review their entire listing, especially the business documents showing they are fully authorized to operate a real business, such as a business license. Business licenses are public information and usually merchants hang these on the wall within their businesses in an area that the public can assess and see them. If I like what I see, then I will select admin reviews, which will trigger the merchant promo to activate for that KCBO account. So the merchant promo is not automated. It's not automated. We don't have the resources on the admin side to vet these merchants, but admin reviewed is a good sign. Ultimately, it is all of you, the members, that will vet these merchants. As you seek places to spend your kringle, enhancements of the merchant side of our website will happen ongoing. This is basically version 1.1. We need more merchants fast, so we will give merchants an admin credit deal times 50 per week. They will get 2 additional credits, admin credits, every time they use the last 2 admin credits, up to 50 times a week. In other words, up to 100 admin credits a week during September to use to sign up as many as 400 of their customers in September. This could create a $4,000 to $5,000 monthly passive residual income for all of them starting in October. You realize that 400 times 400 times 400 times 400 is over 1 billion people. This is going to be huge. I bet you would like the same deal that merchants are getting, right? So, if you help us out by signing up merchants, you can also get up to 400 admin credits within the month of September. Sign up at least 1 merchant a week starting now, and you will get up to 100 admin credits that week. Just remember that it is a use or lose it deal. If you don't use all 100 admin credits that week, you lose them. That's why you are issued 2 at a time. The week begins and ends at the same time as the Bitcoin contest begins and ends. If you hustle, you can sign up 1 merchant every week. For the next 4 weeks, you get up to a total of 400 admin credits to use during the month of September. This will put you in the same position as some of our TBC leaders using a pay it forward strategy to build up their referral fast. The best part is that admin credits do count towards winning the Bitcoin contest. Of course, no Bitcoin bounties are paid out when using admin credits because 50% or 0 Bitcoin sent into admin is still 0. And I cannot pay something out of nothing. But wouldn't it be great if you won some Bitcoin contest as a result of this merchant promo? Let's hustle in September. Well, I already know in less than a week, I know one man has signed up 871 people. It's a lot of people. Obviously, these are all the referral links for merchants. It carries on a wee bit more down here. Please use the referral link for merchants when you sign up a merchant so that you will get the admin credits for this merchant promo. Once I have looked over your merchant's listing and I have what I see, especially when it comes to what I see in the business documents, and I click on admin review for that merchant, that will trigger you getting the first 2 credits towards the merchant promo. And once you use those 2, you will get 2 more. And so on until either you have used all 100 admin credits that week, or the week comes to an end and whatever admin credits are lost due to time frame of use. So it looks like there is going to be promos all the way through, right up till October. November is the last of the redemption periods for TBC, and starting as the 1st of January, we move into migration to a completely new blockchain that belongs to TBC, and not have a third-party one like we did originally. We were working off the back of somebody else's blockchains when we originally started. That's why we were getting scammed left, right, and center. Now technology is getting more sophisticated, and hence the reason why the admin fee has to go. I think it's quite reasonable once I understood what it was about. But you must remember, only half of that goes to admin. The other half goes to Bitcoin bounties. So admin is only getting 4 grains of the 8 grains, because the other $12.50 goes to Bitcoin bounties and not to admin. That's what a lot of people out there are moaning, but they don't understand it because they don't go into the blog and read it. Okay, down here we've got a little bit here. It's an article. Something else. Should TBC exist? And we'll go up and open this. Okay, should TBC exist? I'd like to enter the debate at the most fundamental level. Should TBC exist? I created TBC. I am the admin of TBC. And you're saying, why did I create it? When I look out into the world I live in, I see so much poverty and misery that I started to question everything. Through much personal research, I found out that the entire world we live in is being run by the elite. The elite gather in secret to make their plans for the world. From their point of view, they own us. They own all of us. They gather in secret because they are evil. Over the last 3.5 years, I have exposed the elite over and over again, right here in this blog. Pizzagate. Pizzagate is not a theory. It is real, and the evidence is all over the internet. Only evil people would do that. This blog is full of many evil things they are doing. How do the elite run the world? They created central banking, which allows them to create money out of thin air, without accountability and without real auditing. I've exposed this many times in the blog. They have manipulated all but a handful of countries to use their global central banking system, and the results speak for themselves. It has devastated the entire world and is the source of widespread poverty, war, crime, and human misery. Because of central banking, governments issue money out of the barrel of a gun. I believe that is barbaric. From my point of view, humanity has evolved past the point of being barbaric. Bitcoin is a leap forward out of being barbaric. When it comes to the idea of money, Bitcoin is not issued out of the barrel of a gun. But let's face it, Bitcoin is far from mass adoption. So you can't really spend Bitcoin today, right? Most merchants in the world, from large to small, don't accept Bitcoin for payment for their goods and services. Bitcoin has already succeeded to get the attention of every country in the world, and world leaders are debating what to do about it. Thankfully enough, countries have allowed it to continue to develop without using force to stop people from using it. Problem is, Bitcoin is leaning on the system the elite have created, which is the public markets. So, it is hard to own a large amount of Bitcoin without becoming a trader in the public markets. Poor people are poor traders, and public markets by design are highly unpredictable. So even with the Bitcoin, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Bitcoin is too deeply entrenched into public markets right now, and it seems hopeless we will ever be free from this entanglement. The other thing wrong with Bitcoin because of the public markets is that it is viewed as a form of property. It is owned by the user. So many governments around the world are taxing the people that own Bitcoin, usually a capital gain type tax. That a major problem for both the people and the governments because tax law is so complicated and Bitcoin moves easily from one jurisdiction to another, which makes regulation and enforcement a daunting task because even the various governments around the world are in disagreement with each other. TBC is another alternative to the barbaric system the elite have created. But we are firmly a peer-to-peer coin today. And the path forward for us is not the public market. Our path forward is gathering merchants that will accept TBC for payment for their goods and services. It is a clean path so that we remain self-regulated and private. See our public notice to understand it. You don't own TBC because I issued these coins as the creator, as a stewardship. The good news is you don't pay capital gains tax on the TBC coins. We are in the distribution phase of TBC and we will remain in the distribution phase until admin wallet is empty. It is a bad news that you have to be responsible with what I have created and that no harm should be done using TBC. TBC motto is do no harm. Is it too much to expect people to be good stewards? Responsibility is the key in holding TBC. TBC holds real value based on the membership agreement. There is nothing more valuable on earth than mankind. Don't even try to debate me on that. When one living man makes an agreement with another living man, that is the exercise of free will. It is undeniable that we live in a free world universe. Governments and societies come and go, but the free world universe remains. Every member of our society adds 1 grain of value to all TBC coins, which are limited to 1 billion coins by agreement. It is pure willful ignorance. If you don't know that about TBC, we stop counting members when we reach 1 billion paid members. When we enter the economic phase of TBC, we will have a stable currency where every TBC coin holds the value of 1 billion grains. Measuring the value of TBC in grain rounds TBC, but we are not backed by gold. And we should be careful how we reference our relationship to gold to avoid confusion. The nature of a distribution phase and an economic phase are very different from each other. Risk is a part of life and unavoidable. There is risk in a distribution phase. The risk comes in 1,000 flavors. Flavor most are concerned about right now is what we failed to distribute all of the TBC coins. What happens then? Let's face it, if we fail to distribute all the TBC coins, then TBC dies. It will be impossible to complete our mission if we fail to reach our objective of having 1 billion members. The distribution phase of TBC is also the establishing value phase of creating a stable currency to use. In the economic phase of TBC, value will be established already and unquestioned. When 1 billion people come together in agreement that 1 TBC coin is worth 1 billion grain, how will the world be able to deny that? The risk is real. A fear concerning it is a choice. Let's just say that fear and love don't go together. As the admin of TBC, I am asking all of the members to question their fears. Are they necessary? Was force used to make you use TBC? No, you don't have to use TBC, and you don't have to believe in TBC. You have thousands of choices of which currency you want to support. Understand this. TBC has a pathway of both failure and success. The ultimate failure would be the resignation of TBC creator during the distribution phase of TBC. Look what happened to Apple when Steve Jobs was forced out of the job of running Apple. Apple almost died as a company, and they begged for Steve Jobs to come back and complete what he started. His vision for Apple was required in order for it to become the major brand it is today. Greed was at that source of the reason they put Steve Jobs through that mess. So, I too have an unfulfilled vision for the distribution phase of TBC and a great vision ahead for the economic phase of TBC. This is the purpose of my life and what God has ordained to me to even before I was born. Failure is not an option for me. We can experience failures along the way, but we really don't fail until we give up. then it is failure. I view failures on the path as opportunities to make necessary changes in order to reach success. Only the willfully ignorant say that TBC is a failure today. We have way more things to be proud of than we have concern. The goodness of TBC is so much larger than our current shortcomings. TBC is well on its way of manifesting into reality. Its mission to end poverty globally. I stop now. This debate is not going to stop us. That's for sure. In fact, sorry folks, I might have to complete that. I've run out of my time and Zoom, and and probably have to do that. Maybe I'll get Bex to finish it off tonight. Anyway, thank you guys for coming in because it's going to close down pretty quickly. And if you'd like, go and have a look in the blog and just have a quick read through it because this guy's on his own. He's done a great job getting the world to where we are. Is that you just got scammers trying to deal with, trying to get in before we move across and migrate to the next stage. Now, Bex, I think you want to ask some questions.
I don't think it works. Your time up because it's timing up here. But you can stop your recording and keep talking.
Yeah. Okay.